All right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and tonight I want to have a little bit of a football program that we're going to talk about here. And we've got a lot of great things happening right here in the state of Missouri as far as football goes. Now, there is a big tilt getting ready to happen in just about 15 minutes from now. So I'm not going to take too long tonight. I just wanted to be able to pop on here and share a little bit of information that we've got going on with some different teams locally, as well as what's getting ready to happen with those Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so you guys know that we have had some high school football state championship playoffs going on right now, and we've had a great turnout as far as mid Missouri teams in the state championship tournament. We had a few teams that made it to the district championship game, and unfortunately, they had to play another one of our local teams in order to be able to move on. But first, tonight, I want to be able to talk about Helias Catholic High School and what a great year the Crusaders had. They were they were trying to get back to the state championships, and this time in Class 5. Helias, they began their season with those high hopes, and they had the challenge right away of their starting quarterback, Sam Wyrick. Now, Sam was a senior, and unfortunately, in the game against Rockbridge, he tore his ACL. And then, you know, I'm sure that a lot of the team looked at what are we going to do next, but boom, up popped Austin Weaver, and he stepped right in. Austin was a sophomore, and he stepped into that game against Rockbridge, and he was ready to go right away. And just wow, what a tremendous year for the Crusaders. Austin came in and they were victorious against Rockbridge. They won that game 20-10, and they went on to claim the CMAC title again this year, as well as the District 5 Class 5 championship. Next up, they face, after they got that district championship, they faced the Republic High School team, which was willing to do whatever they could to get an advantage. The Republic Tigers were hosting Helias Catholic in the state quarterfinals, and Helias opened with a possession and promptly drove down the field. And thanks to Austin Weaver's hand eye coordination and speeds, he struck first with a 20-yard touchdown run. But that didn't last long. Helias up 7-0, kicked off to Republic, and Republic ran 100 yards back for the score on a touchdown to tie the game at 7-all. What a start to the game. What a absolutely explosive beginning. And those two teams were going at it right away, but I think Republic knew that it was going to need something to be able to come against the number 6 seed. I think it was number 6 seed. I'm sorry, but it was the higher ranked Helias Crusaders, who had a 10-2 record. Republic was coming in against them, and they knew they were going to need to do something different. So what did they do? They went ahead and they did an onside kick. They surprised the Crusaders right away with an onside kick, and not long after that, Wyatt Woods rumbled into the end zone for a Republic touchdown to go up 14-7. Now, what a surprise that was! But even more of a surprise is that they did another onside kick, and they recovered that one too. And they went on to score another touchdown. So they were up 2 touchdowns into the second quarter, and they hung on for a 28-21 win as Helias made a valiant run back at them and to get back in the game and had a chance, but they just came up a little bit short against a team that was being very creative and very innovative on their game plan to be able to go against Helias and steal the win. Uh, the Tigers from Republic, they led by those 2 touchdowns, and when they hung on to win, it was their first time that they have made it to the state semifinals since 1986. Folks, that's 2 years after I graduated. So they they have not been to the state semifinals in a very long time, and so hats off to that team. They played Helias very tough, and they came out on top. But what about those Helias Catholic Crusaders? They finished with a great season at 10-2 amidst all the challenges of losing their starting quarterback. But great job, Austin Weaver and your team, and just Coach Hench's outstanding job getting to where you were facing those challenges. We're looking forward to what you guys are going to do again next year. Next up, the Jefferson City Jays. Now, the Jefferson City Jays, I mean, you guys know about the tradition that has been in place for the Jays for so many years. Well, they had a little bit of a dry spell, and I'm saying a little bit of a dry spell. It's been a while, but Coach has really got these guys going, and he has been able to get them moving into the right direction. And in a back and forth battle between the McDonald County Mustangs, the Class 4 District 5 Championship Jefferson City Jays, they landed the last punch in this semifinal game. Now, Jefferson City, they erased an early 14-point deficit and used a 6-yard touchdown run with 1 minute and 58 seconds left to take the lead for good to close out a 31-28 victory in the Class 4 quarterfinals at McDonald High School. McDonald County came storming out of the gates first, though. They started off the game and they came out storming first. The Mustangs forced an early punt by the Jays and made quick work of their first offensive series, moving 45 yards in just 3 plays before Sam Martin ran in a 7-yard touchdown. Richard Gasca made his first of 4 successful PATs, point after attempts, to take a 7-0 lead with 7:24 left in the first quarter. McDonald County forced a turnover on downs to follow a takeback at its own 31, and the Mustangs marched down the field again before ending the possession with another touchdown, and they were up 14-0 in the second quarter. Now, the second quarter, most of that was owned by the Jefferson City Jays. Berdarius Lewis broke off a 73-yard touchdown run on the second play of the second quarter to get the Jays on the board and cut their deficit to 14-7. They were moving and they were ready to go. Following a McDonald County 3-and-out, Lewis capped off an 11-play, 71-yard drive with a 6-yard TD run to tie the game at 14 with 4:07 left before halftime. The Mustangs went 3-and-out and again, and Wilson found Johnson on the fourth play on the ensuing drive for a 42-yard touchdown to give the Jays their first lead at 21-14 with 1 minute left, and that would hold until halftime. Now, in the second half, McDonald County had a statement drive to start the third quarter, using 14 plays to gain 64 yards and tie the game with a Melosi Sosa 1-yard touchdown run with just over 4 minutes left in the quarter. The Mustangs looked to have the Jays on the ropes after an interception by Slight Osborne set up McDonald County at its own 43-yard line halfway through the fourth with a 28-24 lead. The Mustangs couldn't take advantage, though, as Destin Dowd's 4th-and-3 run from the Jefferson City 26 was stopped 2 yards short for a turnover on downs. The Jays struck quickly. They used a 46-yard pass from Jacob Wilson to Zach Barnes on the first play of the possession to gain 46 yards down to the McDonald County 29-yard line before Barnes punched in the game-winning score 4 plays later. Kendrick Johnson made the final of his 4 successful extra point attempts to secure the 3-point lead. The Mustangs, they had one final shot to tie or win the game, starting at their own 35 with a minute 53 and 2 timeouts. Dowd carried the ball on the first 2 plays, with the first being stuffed at the line. The Jays said, "No, you're not coming across. We're stopping it here. We're going to hold on to this lead, and Jefferson City's going to move forward." They stopped him with that resolved from at this line of scrimmage, and on second, going for 6 yards to set up 3rd and 4. It looked like Dowd would have a wide receiver deep down the field for a 20-plus yard reception, but the receiver dropped the ball. On the second one, going for 6 yards, then the second one went through on 4th down. The second pass attempt in that series, again, went through another receiver's hands to basically seal the fate for McDonald County as the Jays closed out the victory. McDonald County's best season in program history ended with an 8-5 record. The Mustangs finished with 292 total yards, with 256 of those yards coming on the ground, and only 36 through the air. Wow, that was an absolute lopsided, unbalanced attack, but it was working. 256 yards on the ground. The Jays held strong, though, and they held strong when they needed to the most, and they shut McDonald County down. Now, Jefferson City, they're 9-4. They tallied 381 yards of offense, gaining a season high 201 yards through the air and adding another 180 on the ground for a balanced attack. The Jeff City Jays will now take on Kearney in 11-2, which advanced with a 35-0 victory against Nevada this Saturday in the semifinals. The Jays are getting ready to take on Kearney, and it's going to be rocking. Jefferson City's back, and they're wanting everybody to know about it. All right. Now, before we move on to the next phase of the night, we were going to talk about the Blair Oaks Falcons, the Mizzou Tigers, and then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back as we hear from our sponsor.
Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, they do a fantastic job right here in Mid-Missouri, and we appreciate Paula and her whole team. We also appreciate Big Whiskeys right here in Jefferson City, who sponsor our Coach of the Issue, every issue, and that is so important because we've got great coaches right here in Mid-Missouri. We got great coaches continuing to move on in the state tournament bracket for football. And we are just thankful that Big Whiskeys features those coaches who work so hard to make our student athletes better men and women and great athletes right here in Mid-Missouri. All right, we talked about the Helias Crusaders. We talked about the Jefferson City Jays. And I do want to mention that Capital City, they made a great run to get to the district championship game, but they fell up just short to the Helias Catholic Crusaders. And great job, Capital City, you guys are coming along, and it's just great to be watching Mid-Missouri football. I also want to move on to another team. Now, we're going to talk about the Blair Oaks Falcons. Coach Ted LePage has the defending state champion and the Class 3 District 4 champion Blair Oaks Falcons sporting an 11-1 record, with their only loss to Class 4 Lutheran North earlier in the year. Now, Lutheran North is still in the Class 4 state championship playoff hunt. They are competing and they are playing very well. And just to show you how good that game was between Lutheran North and Blair Oaks only lost that game to a Class 4 team, 30-38. And so, what a game! That's their only loss on the year. That's the only blemish. Blair Oaks this past weekend beat Westminster 47-29 in the Missouri State Class 3 quarterfinals Friday night at Parkway West High School in Baldwin. A trio of touchdowns from Nick Klosser. Nick was all over the field, including a game-sealing 52-yard onside kick return for a touchdown. He led the Falcons to the victory over the Wildcats. Klosser also added a 23-yard touchdown run and a 19-yard touchdown catch. I mean, he was pretty much doing all different phases right there on the field that night. Great job, Nick, and great job, Blair Oaks. Hayden Lackman added a pair of rushing touchdowns of his own for the Falcons, and Eli Luckett and Tyler Bax also found the end zone on the ground. Blair Oaks is highly potent on offense, and they're playing great defense. If you look at all the scores that they've had throughout the year, most of these games have not been very close. Southern Boone played them pretty well in their games, but most of the games have not been close at all. With the win, Blair Oaks advanced to the Class 3 semifinals against Park Hills Central, with kickoff slated for 1 p.m. this Saturday in Wardsville. Park Hills Central defeated St. Francis Borgia out of Washington, Missouri, to set up the tilt against the Falcons. We're excited for Blair Oaks. We're excited for Jefferson City. And the winner of both of their games is going to advance to the state championship round in Class 3 and Class 4, respectively. So good luck to Jefferson City. Good luck to Blair Oaks. We're excited. Talking about good luck, I mean, we can't say enough about the Mizzou Tigers and how they eked out a game this past Saturday against the Florida Gators. Coach Eli Drinkowitz in Missouri of the Missouri Tiger football team and the Tigers, they found themselves in another jaw-dropping moment on 4th and 15 with time quickly fading and the Tigers trailing. Quarterback Brady Cook found Luther Burden for a pass completion. Then he found Theo Weiss Jr. and then Mekhi Miller. And then it was Harrison Mevis time. Harrison, I don't know if you remember, but he kicked that 61-yard field goal as time expired against the Kansas State Wildcats. And Faurot Field, they just poured on the people poured onto Faurot Field in a massive celebration. And not quite the celebration of the K-State game, but I know people were breathing a sigh of relief as Mizzou outlasted Florida in that game. In a back and forth game with the 10th ranked Tigers, they found their way to win over the overachieving Gators. This is the first time the Tigers have won at least 9 games in a season, going all the way back to 2014. That's been a while. That's been 19 years, folks. They close out the regular season this next Saturday at Arkansas and play their rival. And of course, we know that they are bowl bound, but how big of a bowl will they be in? Right now, they are currently ranked number 10 in the AP Top 25. What a great job our Mizzou Tigers are doing right up the road there in Columbia, Missouri. And we can only finish out this segment by saying, go MIZZOU. Let's cheer the Tigers on, and we're looking forward to what they're going to finish out the year. All right, that leads us to the marquee matchup of the week in the NFL. Tonight, our Kansas City Chiefs are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Coach Andy Reid and the Chiefs are going to play again against the Eagles, who last year they played in the Super Bowl and won with a 38-35 victory. Right now, the Chiefs are sitting atop the AFC, and the Eagles are sitting atop the NFC with the best records in their conferences. Things started off with a nail biter for the Chiefs when they began the year. We lost 20-21 to the Detroit Lions and didn't really know how good of a loss that was, because the Lions right now, they are ranked second in the NFC behind the Eagles, and they're doing a great job and winning some good games. So the Chiefs, while they lost that game, they lost to a good team, and it was just down to the last minute. However, after the Chiefs lost that game, then all of a sudden they came to life. They played against a great Jacksonville Jaguars team, who right now are 7-3. They beat the Bears, they beat the Jets, the Vikings, and the Broncos in their first matchup with them. And then they went on to beat the Los Angeles Chargers. Boy, is that team going through a lot of turmoil with their coach and all the different things happening there. Then we had a surprise loss to the Denver Broncos. Here we were thinking, oh, the Broncos, just like I think the Tigers did with Florida, thinking that, oh, this might be an easy win. The Chiefs might have thought that this might be an easy win against the Broncos team, who had lost by 50 points to the Miami Dolphins. 50 points. So that defense was not good, did not appear to be good at that time. And the Chiefs got beat for the second time this year, and they lost to the Denver Broncos. Right now, hey, I've got Patty's on here. Patty, good to see you. I'm getting ready to watch the Chiefs too, Patty, so thanks for joining me here, but getting excited about seeing how that game's going to go tonight. The Chiefs, after they lost to the Broncos, then they were faced with somebody that used to be for the Chiefs, who used to be our speed weapon, the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, and the Miami Dolphins. We traveled to Frankfurt, Germany, to play in a game that the Cheetah was talking some smack about how he was going to show the Chiefs some work. And so I just want to say the Cheetah got caged, and we came out of Frankfurt, Germany, with a 21-14 victory. Tonight, as they face Philadelphia in this rematch, there are a lot of questions and a lot of drama leading into this game. Will the Chiefs' offense come to life and set the tone for the second half of the season as they are trying to be the first back-to-back Super Bowl champions since the Patriots did it in 2004? Will the Chiefs' press box be filled with more attention than the playing field, with Taylor Swift and her parents possibly in attendance as they meet Travis Kelce's mom and dad? Will a Chiefs wide receiver finally step up and become a legitimate weapon in this offense to give Patrick Mahomes a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more firepower? I'm hoping for that one. Will the best defense the Chiefs have had in years keep rolling with the second most sacks in the league and the number 4 overall defense? Thank you, defense, for doing your job. Keep it going, and let's roll to another championship. Will Coach Andy Reid reach his 1,000th victory tonight? Did you know that Andy Reid will be the Chiefs coach with the most wins? And he will also be the Philadelphia Eagles coach with the most wins. I don't know of any other coach other than I think it was Hank Stram, I think, that had accomplished that. Will Coach Andy Reid reach that 1,000th victory? Let's get it tonight. Let's don't wait, Coach Reid. Let's do it. Stay tuned, folks. Tonight's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be fireworks. It's going to be all sorts of things happening right there in GEH Field, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. I would say I wish I could be there, but not really. I'd rather watch it from my home, just like I believe a lot of you are going to. Thank you guys for joining the program tonight and just for this fun football program. Great sports in mid-Missouri. We've had lots of good things happening. The Blair Oaks Lady Falcons three-peat on their volleyball state championship, and just a whole bunch of other things going on right here in mid-Missouri. Again, a shout out to mid-Missouri sports and all the young men and women that are playing and working so hard, and all the coaches that are pouring into them. God bless you guys. This is your host, Kirk DeMars on One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I will see you next week.